So Evan Bourne gets suspended again, and we didn't learn about this until after Monday Night Raw. Before that, Epico and Primo defeated Air Boom to win the tag team championship at one of the live events, one of the house shows. So when that happened and I heard about it, well, I have to say I'm 50-50 on it. I don't really like the tag team of Epico and Primo, but I really liked the idea that they wanted a house show because that's very rare that they actually do that. And if you can throw that in every once in a while, it kind of gives it a little bit of a boost, and people go, you know what, maybe I should check out this house show. Something might happen. So I like that instead of just having them show up on Raw and beat them on Raw. Uh, but like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Epico and Primo, so as far as I'm concerned, tag team title just dropped a little bit. But they'll figure something out. It's WrestleMania. They weren't going to put a whole lot of emphasis on it anyway. Um, so I was curious why they did that, and the only thing I could think of was that Evan Bourne had gotten suspended again, where somebody had gotten injured and we didn't know, and then the next day suspended for 60 days, failing the wellness policy again. And there's speculation that he might be actually trying to get himself fired, and he might succeed in it. But he says on Twitter, "Sorry, y'all. Sometimes we become our own worst enemy." Uh, Completely agree with you, Evan Bourne. I mean, you just got suspended, man. Like,
But at least he's admitting to it. He's not sitting there trying to make excuses about Hardy um, about his drug problems. He's admitting to it and saying, I fucked up.
right.
But the thing about this is maybe he needs to get a bit of help before
I'll
it gets worse.
I'll give him credit for saying that he did fuck up, but it's like, don't fuck up in the first place, you idiot. You're a tag team champion in the company you want to be in, and you just got suspended. You
Also
you
earning
kind of
millions. He's missed out on two big paydays with the Rumble Mania.
a huge
Yeah,
payday,
both of them are pretty
po-
huge for the talents.
possibly
Like,
even a third one with Elimination Chamber, because if you have
yeah,
12 guys in the Elimination Chambers,
like this is the season wrestlers don't want to miss. Just ask Jeff Hardy from 2008. He
ooh,
missed
yeah,
out on a big time push when he got suspended. Wasn't he supposed to win Money in the Bank or something that year?
Yeah.
supposedly, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and Air Boom was pretty much WWE's top tag team. It fucks over Kofi Kingston a lot too, this whole situation. Like, what's he gonna do now?
Well, you know what I'm kind of expecting to happen? I think Kofi is going to drop the Air Boom thing, and we're not going to see Air Boom anymore. I think between the next 60 days, they're going to be so focused on The Rock, and they're going to beat that into a pulp, and I'm going to hate them so much, and I'm going to be frustrated on these episodes because they're just going to be talking about The Rock all the time. But they're going to be so focused on The Rock and Undertaker and Cena,
Especially
Punk.
post Elimination Chamber. That's
Yeah,
when they're really gonna start
they're
pushing
going to
all that
have all
stuff.
that on their plate, so they're not going to bother with Kofi at all. Kofi's either going to find himself in some kind of a multi-man match or nothing.
Like every
Or
other
relegated to
year.
superstars.
Right. And then after WrestleMania, when they go, oh, okay, now we actually have to start paying attention to the roster again, then they're probably going to give Kofi either the typical superstars push or maybe think of something else for him to do. I don't think Evan Bourne and Kofi
Or
are a tag team anymore.
or they might even reward Kofi with the money in the bank. It's happened to lesser people.
True. Well, if they do
Yeah,
Money in the Bank, there's rumors that they might do it at WrestleMania, and then there's rumors that they won't. I'm
yeah.
hoping that
Well,
they
I'm
won't.
hoping they do it because it's a great way to get loads of lower to mid card guys
Yeah,
on
but
the spot.
in my opinion, WrestleMania 27, even though it was a disappointment, I think it opened the door for a lot of other singles matches to happen on that
Not
show.
really. You
You
had
can
like a
still run a WrestleMania without having Money in the Bank to get guys on the card. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I
And
understand that as well, but on the same retrospect, WrestleMania 27 wasn't that great.
no, it wasn't that great, but it still proved that, you can book a show without Money in the Bank, having to rely on that to get, superstars on the card.
But
Well,
it's
I've been
not Money in the Bank itself. It's the fact that it's the matches are usually very fast paced and high risk,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
sets the tempo for the whole pay per view.
Just if they're keeping it in July, I don't want to see three a year. Like that's just complete
yeah.
overkill. It wasn't 2010 and Swagger winning at WrestleMania. In my opinion, that was just awful.
That's
See, I've
probably
been
part of
But
my
saying I've
reasons.
been saying that they should do a scramble match. Have
yeah,
10 people in a scramble match. It's got a limited time frame, so that means you don't overbook the WrestleMania card. You get all them on there and you give them a title shot of their choice. Doesn't have to be a world title shot, and make it for the next pay-per-view. So you could even kind of make it more of a mid-card title match all the time and do something where, like, because the next pay-per-view is Extreme Rules, you could have, say, I don't know, say like a Kofi Kingston wins and he challenges for the Intercontinental title at Extreme Rules, something like that. But when it comes to Evan Bourne's out of this, so he's not a factor in that at all. And he might not even come back at all. I mean, he might be fired from this whole
Yeah,
thing.
they're questioning whether or not his future in WWE is actually going to be a long one because after this situation, I think they're only keeping him on the roster at the moment until he sorts his problems out, and then they might just let go of him because he's rather is a niche wrestler. I remember when they had rumblings about bringing back the cruiserweight division so they can have something to allow these lower card guys to actually compete for a title. But with that not happening now and Bourne's constant screw ups, I don't think he's that type of guy that WWE will say, we're going to push him for a world title.
No.
And I don't think they have any faith to push him towards a mid card title.
They should have.
They didn't have faith to push him to anything before he even started screwing up, other than the tag titles with Kofi. That seemed to be really the most relevant thing he's done over the last few years.
Well, there was a time period where he kind of seemed like he could have won the United States title.
Yeah.
I don't remember when it was, but it wasn't that long ago. It might have been like a year ago.
It was 2010, the summer of 2010, going into.
Is that when he got the Cena rub?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could have seen him being United States or Intercontinental Champion, but never really a world champion. I mean, it happened for Rey Mysterio, but Rey Mysterio is over with the crowd more than ever.
And he's marketable, like the mask, and he has traits that a lot of wrestlers don't have.
He's basically like a smaller version of Cena. He attracts the little kids,
with a mask,
merchandise, yeah. And he's someone that the company can actually justify putting a world title on, whereas Evan Bourne, not so much. He's very generic. Plus the fact that he hasn't got any mic skills whatsoever. He just literally just gets on the mic and goes, "Yay!"
Yeah, you know what I'm kind of expecting to happen here. I'm expecting if he stays in the company, he won't be staying long, and we'll find him in TNA. And if he doesn't end up staying over the next 60 days, we're going to end up finding him in TNA anyway. I think TNA is a better fit for him. The X Division will love Evan Bourne. And apparently in TNA it doesn't matter if you were a drug addict or anything like that, because they'll even let you wrestle on the card.
Well, but, with all the rumors going around that RVD might make his return to WWE, the perfect person to have him feud against would be Bourne. Because, the styles are very similar. And could sort of like help elevate Bourne a little bit more and have someone to sort of mentor him and get him to the point where he's at least decent.
Well, see, they run into a problem with that, though, because if you have RVD and Evan Bourne working together on a match, you know how that meeting's going to go.
Yes.
Yeah, you could get them, if any of them hold a title, they could get pulled over and arrested and suspended afterwards. It's not like that's ever happened before.
Yeah. Caught with a bong.
It's like I've heard rumors that Van Damme is interested in coming back. Is that still running? Like
yeah. Apparently that's white hot at the moment. They're still the WWE is sort of mutual to that respect, but the whole issue that they have at the moment, I believe, which is going to sort of stall him from coming back, is the weed.
Yeah, well, he doesn't do spice. He actually does legitimate marijuana, so that wouldn't suspend him. It would just give him a fine. But you can only get fined so much before they say, okay, you're gone.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Kendrick, I believe.
You know what? Kendrick, apparently he was doing it to piss off Vince McMahon. He actually took up smoking outside, and he was literally smoking cigarettes outside in the car park and stuff like that just to piss Vince off.
That's really fucking smart.
He was just stupid. He was legitimately trying to get himself fired, and you just sit there and think, really?
That's not illegal, though.
No, but
he could get away with that. But
no, but it was frowned
they really let him go over all the fines he'd been getting for marijuana.
But then he could just fire him for being unprofessional. Because if the whole thing's supposed to be about you're doing this to piss off your boss,
right?
You know what I mean? And if Evan Bourne is trying to do that, like they're saying that he might be trying to get himself fired,
And
he's succeeding because he's
I doubt it. I literally doubt that Bourne's trying to get himself fired. I think literally he's just got addicted to this fucking synthetic marijuana, and they need to
why
sort of get it away from
even
him.
why get addicted to the fake stuff when you can smoke real herb? I don't understand that at
No,
all.
but it's a big fine if you do. You know,
Oh, I
you
know it's a big fine if you do, but
but then look at how much money he's missing out on
yeah, when
WrestleMania
you
and
get
what Rumble.
suspended for 30, 60 days, you're missing out on, events. He missed Survivor Series this year. That could have been a pretty decent payday for him. I'm pretty sure
That's
he would have
three out
been,
of the big four.
yeah, he would have
but
been
again,
probably on Team Morton with Kingston had he not got suspended.
it's it's more in terms of just him being an idiot. That's all I can say. But at least he's admitted to it. And
Yeah.
if the WWE's smart, they'll get him into rehab, give the guy the option, sort him out. You know, get
If he
him
says
sort of
no, you
detox
might
from it.
need to let him go,
Yeah,
and cut
exactly
your
the same thing that
losses.
they've done with Hardy. Literally, if they have to let the guy go, let the guy go.
Yeah,
Maybe
because as
he'll.
much as I'm a fan of Evan Bourne in the ring, if they lose him, they're not really losing anything.
No, then not really. Just, a standard average tip run of the mill undercard guy.
Like they're losing out on his finishing move, and that's more than anything else.
Yeah, but then again, they've got other guys who could do stuff more.
They've got
Uh,
Justin Gabriel.
Yeah,
there you
Gabriel's got
go.
the 450.
Hmm.
So they don't really need Bourne that badly, but maybe it would benefit him if they did like fire him, because at the end of the day, he maybe have to go develop those skills that he's lacking, and then eventually come back more humbled. It's happened
Well,
with a lot of guys.
well, you know what I would do if I were them? I mean, I don't know if there's anything company wise where you can't necessarily do this, but I would try to get him to go into the WWE sponsored rehab for those 60 days.
That's what I was saying.
And just be like, look,
Literally.
do this, and we'll give you one more shot. You got a three-strike rule when it comes to the wellness policy. You fuck up one more time, you're done. You're never coming back to the company, and that's it. We're giving you three shots. We told you not to do it in the first place. You tried to get around it and pull one over on us by using the fake stuff. Now you're bitching about it on Twitter when you get suspended the first time. The second time, all you do is say, "Yeah, I'm my own worst enemy." I mean, there's only so
Again,
much you could
Well,
do.
didn't Jeff Hardy go through all three of his strikes in his first run with the WWE, and then he ended up coming back anyway, and then getting two more strikes upon his new contract.
yeah, they
So
literally
even
gave him
if,
three strikes, fired him because he wouldn't go to rehab. Because I literally said to him, "You either go to rehab or you're done." And he was like, "I ain't got a problem." So he didn't go to rehab. Came back, got two more strikes,
and then he
and
left on his
then
own
left
terms for nagging
because of
injuries, but
quote
we know
unquote
otherwise.
burnout. Yeah,
Nagging injuries, and then he gets busted for that wasn't long after he left that he got busted for
Like
that
2 months or
whole
something, maybe
yeah.
yeah.
a couple months at the very least.
Because
Uh,
apparently he had fans selling him like loads of drugs and stuff.
well, at
Oh
least they're
no,
dedicated fans.
tell me about it. Oh, by the way, I love you so much. Let me feed your drug habit.
If anybody is a dedicated fan like that for me, I don't want drugs. Send me like some orange Gatorade and stuff.
Tacos.
Yeah,
Tacos
some
are my
tacos.
mango steamer this week.
Yeah, I've had way too many tacos. Uh, so when it comes to the tag titles, let's just touch on that real quick. The only thing that they've done so far is they had that tornado match on SmackDown about an hour ago, from when we're recording this, and between the Usos and Epico and Primo. And naturally, Epico and Primo won because I mean the Usos aren't just going to beat the new tag team champions, and that'll be it. But where do you guys think they're going to go with this? Do you think that they're just going to kind of keep them on them until they figure something out after Mania, or do you think that they're
Well,
going to try to do something for Mania? I highly doubt it, but
there's inklings that they're going to be bringing up some more tag teams from SCW. Plus, they've got a couple of good tag teams on next as well, like with Hawkins and what's his name?
Rex.
Rex.
Rex. That's it. So at the end of the day, they've got choices. They have other options. They could just continue to sing with the Usos and have them literally bide for the tag titles eventually.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's not really anything special because Epico and Primo are not that great of a tag team. You know, they're not something like Air Boom where they could just say, "Wow, they're a great attraction. Their matches were awesome." You know, with Epico and Primo, it's sort of like, yeah, they're all right,
I mean,
and
they
they
make
have
sense as a
Rosa.
tag team. Like,
Yeah, they
I'm
do.
not against them being a tag team. I'm kind of against them being tag team champions because I don't think they're really that credible. But I would kind of think the same for the Usos. They weren't ready for it either.
Oh,
Yeah, but they
they've
are sort
never.
of ready for it now, though.
Yeah, I thought they probably maybe should have pulled off an upset in that match to kind of maybe actually start a feud for the tag team titles. Like that wasn't even a title match. I think
Oh yeah, it was.
it it was for the titles.
Yep,
I thought it was
Yeah,
non-title.
I think it was. Well, you know what? Actually, now I'm not sure. Now I'm second guessing myself. It might have
I
been.
don't think it was stated either way because you usually have the graphic up where it says it's for the titles or not.
I don't know. I was looking at Rosa.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But at the
I'm
end
just
of the
gonna
day,
look up the results super quick.
when it comes down to the whole situation, I think they're just going to build this up slowly, the storyline in terms of, what the Usos can do and what Epico and Primo are going to be doing with them. Um, for now, they just need to concentrate on building the tag roster up a bit more. Give them a bit more competition so that you can have
Yeah.
these guys look like a credible tag team. Because if they keep beating the Russos every night, well, Usos, should I say? I said Russos.
Ew.
Exactly. They should literally, they'll literally have no credibility as a team. So they need to give them a bit more competition, bring more guys up, hopefully.
Well, out of the list of the people in WWE right now, let me bring up my WWE roster hierarchy, which of course you can see at smarkoutmoment.com. The people that I am thinking need to be in a tag team, and maybe not necessarily these groupings because that's just kind of me going out on a limb. Hey, there's a
Dot
plug for my
com.
other website. So the the couple of people that I have down, I've been saying for a while that I think Tyson Kidd and Michael McGillicuddy would be a good tag team. And I think they'd be better as a face tag team because McGillicuddy's not getting any heel heat. And Tyson Kidd, I think the best time that he was in WWE was when he was tagging with
DH.
Smith. So
Yeah.
I think you got those two. I think I don't know exactly what Derek Bateman and Johnny Curtis are doing in NXT right now because it's NXT and it's
They had the
awful.
wedding angle,
Yeah,
and
Oh
it was
man.
epic.
I haven't watched NXT in months because it's just too bad to watch. But
They've
I
literally stopped doing the whole like NXT thing, and it's actually a regular show now, like Superstars.
yeah, it's like the B version of Superstars, just like SmackDown is the B version of Raw, right?
Yeah,
But as
Pretty
far as
well.
I can remember, Johnny Curtis and Derek Bateman had some good chemistry together as like a kind of comedic tag team, so they could do that. They've they don't have anything that they're using Percy Watson for right now. They're not really using JTG, Yoshitatsu. Who else we got here? They still have like Byron Saxton, who's not doing anything as far as I can remember. Heath Slater, throw him in a tag team. Uh, Maybe even Mason Ryan. You've got Ezekiel Jackson, Hunico, and Camacho, which they should have been with Epico and Primo, but you know,
Weren't they aligned for a while too? Like, wasn't it Unico who brought Primo and Epico into like his feud with Sin Cara like late last year,
yeah. Then they just ignored it.
and then they like pretend it never happened. Okay.
So I'd like to see somebody like, especially like a Mason Ryan, tag team up with somebody because he's not good enough on his own to carry himself in the mid card division. He's certainly not ready for the main event. So keep him in a tag team. I mean, he can still
they
wrestle
could pair him
singles
up with
matches.
the Funkasaurus. Just saying.
Oh, you know what? Let me touch on that real quick too. I have to kind of eat a little bit of my words right here. I went off about how I hated it so much, and even though I hate these dance segments and stuff on SmackDown, I was kind of fucking entertained. And I hate when have to say I'm kind of wrong about something, but I kind of like Brodus Clay's character now.
What? What? Tony's wrong?
Yeah,
My
I know. I
God.
like it, but
I found it very entertaining. It seems to be getting over, even though it hasn't really been all that long, he seems to be gaining some sort of fanfare.
yeah,
There's somebody call my mama signs in the crowd, and
That's a big reason why I'm enjoying this, because that song's so damn catchy. But
Yeah.
unless you guys and Dace were singing it in an outro.
Oh
Apart
God.
from when he did get booed on SmackDown for beating up Regal.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. And then he just got the crowd back by going, "My bad, my bad. Somebody better call his mother."
Yeah, so fair's fair. I gloat when I'm right, and I have to eat my words when I'm wrong. I'm kind of enjoying it. I still think it would be better if they got the other way, but hey, I'm sort of enjoying the Funkasaurus. So
For saying that as well, that's a testament to Clay as a performer
you're right. I'm
because
a
he's
big
getting
fan of
that gimmick
Clay
over.
himself. So
Yeah,
there's another person, Alex Riley. He should be in a tag team. He's not doing shit right now.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't
Minus
know.
what he does on Superstars, but
That's
he's
still
not on
shit.
any main. Yeah.
So there's a lot of people right now in WWE that they could use out of the roster itself in a tag team, because they're really hurting for some babyface tag teams more so than the heels. They've got the Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex. They've got the Camacho and Hunica. They got the Epico and Primo. So they need some babyface tag teams, and they've got all those. They've got the FCW guys that they can bring up. They've got more than enough people that they can use it for. And if they ignore it, which I think that they're going to do, I'm thinking this is another situation like Kofi's going to be in, where they don't put really much emphasis at all on the tag titles for the next few months. And then
Yeah. Whoever whoever is tag team champions at the time, they'd be extremely lucky to even make it on the card for WrestleMania.
I don't think that there's any chance they're getting
Like
them
the
back.
last time they were on was when, Miz and Show were champions, I believe. It was the last time they were actually defended at WrestleMania.
Yeah, against
And
R-Truth and John Morrison.
yeah, and those were like top mid card guys at the time. Carlito and or not Carlito. Oh wow, shows how much I'm paying attention. But Primo and Epico, they're not that big of stars in terms of mid card status.
Right.
So
I'm expecting Evan Bourne's out. That means Air Boom's done. Evan Bourne himself might be done. Epico and Primo, they're not interesting enough to be anything but showcased on Superstars and SmackDown. Maybe an occasional Raw tag team match. But really, you're going to have the Royal Rumble. You're going to have the Elimination Chamber. You're going to have the build up to WrestleMania. I think tag team titles are dead for a while.
yeah, the whole division seems to be going in a slump for the next few months.
Unless they find another team that actually, could do what Air Boom did and create a bit of a stir in the division. So you will never know. It might come from FCW. We might have a great team from FCW that comes
who knows?
over
We might
and does
just
it.
catch lightning in a bottle. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we can hope, but
yeah, we can all hope. I'd love to see the tag titles defended at the biggest show of the year. Yeah,
I'd like to see the tag titles get a redesign as well. I hate that.
I'd like to
those
see
belts are terrible.
A lot of titles be defended at WrestleMania. It's your biggest show of the year, and it seems like half of the championships never get defended at it.
Right. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's about it for episode 12. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
All right. Just want to quickly state then. Again, check out my blog www.nerdgenius.com. Tweet me at Michael Burhan. I'm gaining some good followers now, so yay. And thirdly, also check out my YouTube. Check out my YouTube channel at BBM. I'm doing a playthrough of Dark Souls at the moment, and I've got loads of other little bits and pieces in the pipeline. So just watch your space, guys, and yeah, that's me done.
To close this thing off for myself, I'll just say very quickly, maybe perhaps check out my YouTube page at www.youtube.com/spoodbeast. Occasionally post video game and wrestling reviews.
For those interested, that's SPOODBEEST.
Yes.
All right, so then that is episode 12 in the can, and we will be having, most likely on Wednesday, our Royal Rumble stats and entrances, records, eliminations, time predictions, winners, Iron Man, going fucking crazy with this kind of stuff. So we will have that up, and then episode 13, the unlucky episode, we will have predictions of the full card of WrestleMania, everything from the world title matches to what I'm hoping is going to be R-Truth versus The Miz. They haven't announced that yet, but I'm sure they'll add it into there. And then touching on whatever happens throughout the rest of the week. Of course, after that, we'll have the Royal Rumble review for you. So for the next couple episodes, we got some big things happening. So make sure to check those out. And for episode 12, this has been a Smark Out Moment, and we're being counted out. See you next time.
5, 2,
SOS. This is an outro. SOS. A bad outro. Evermore when he comes to the place, he smokes weed, it gets off his face. He be some shame, he's got some shame. What a shame, he lost his pay. Now it's out, throw. It's an out, throw, to end the show, man.